All right, so on to the next two problems. Again, a domain is everything that x can be. So in this case, I'm going to find the one restriction for x for number three. Now, keep in mind, just like you can never have a zero in the denominator of a fraction, you can never have a negative in the square root of a fraction. So you're always going to do the same thing. Inside of the expression of the square root, I'm going to set x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 0 because I can only use positive numbers under the square root. For instance, I can't take the square root of a negative 2. It just doesn't give me a real value. So in this case, to get x by itself, I'll add 3 to both sides, and I'll get x must be greater than or equal to 3. So that's going to be your domain. Only the numbers 3 or greater can be used as x, which makes sense because 3 minus 3 gives me 0. The square root of 0 is 0. Anything greater than 3, for instance, if I plug in x is 4, 4 minus 3 is 1, the square root of 1 is 1. Everything works out, nothing is undefined. So to write it in set notation, again, this easier way to start off with, again, starting off x such that x, oops, sorry, my pen is acting up, x such that x must be greater than or equal to 3. And to do it in interval notation, keep in mind that a number line might help you visualize it. So if I draw out 3, I can only use 3 or the number is greater than 3. So that means for my domain, I'll write the numbers 3 to infinity. Sorry, my pen is acting up. So 3 all the way to infinity. So for infinity, you don't actually know that value. So I'm going to put it in parentheses. Now, for the value of 3, this time I can include it because, again, 3 is included. X represents all of the numbers greater than or equal to 3. So since I'm including 3, I'm going to put 3 in brackets. So I'm going to just close up that infinity sign. Okay. So the last one, number 4 here, I'm looking for the domain again. Keep in mind the domain represents all the x values. I don't actually have a function here, I just have some coordinate points. So the domain, which represents all the x values, will just be the x values, which is -3, 1, and 2. Keep in mind that the domain should be written from least to greatest. So taking these x values, I'm going to write them in numerical order. So, sorry, my pen is acting up. The domain is going to be -3, comma, 1, comma, 2. And that's it. To write it in set notation, x such that x in the front, but I'm going to stop right there because my pen is just acting up right now. So I hope that this helps. Please let me know if you have any further questions. Thanks.